Well, I wish I was coming to you guys with some better news. Out here working in Southeast Ohio today. It is late April, about the 29th or 30th of April, and made a unique discovery, but a discovery that is becoming all too common as we're looking and evaluating turkey nesting success. So stay with us, see what we found. So as we were evaluating food plots, looking at expansions and blind placement, the landowner says, I think I found a dead turkey. And knowing the thick cover that we're in and kind of looking at, here's a redneck back up here, it was kind of no surprise that, well, it probably is a hen that maybe had a nest here in this thick cover. And let's go check it out and let's see what happened. Upon seeing the hen, definitely found out that the struggle that she had, she did not win. So we're about to show you guys the harsh realities of nature, but it's nature and this is real. So we can't avoid it and we shouldn't turn a blind eye to it, of course, but this is real. So if you can't stomach stuff, don't watch. Okay, so as I'm kneeling here behind me, what you're gonna see is the hen herself. Obviously they're not very big, small hen, but has obviously started to be consumed by whatever the predator was that found the hen squatting on her nest. There was a struggle, show you that here in a second, but this is the dead hen. She is still pretty pliable. She has not been laying here all that long. The neck is not really kind of decomposed. It's just cool, it's not super cold, and today is a very overcast day, so this is pretty fresh. We're talking within a couple hours, and we've been through this area a couple times already today and yesterday. So just a couple roads here driving by. It was very surprising to see, but this is the harsh reality as we talk about the struggles. About 80% of the nests fail each and every year. So this is probably peak breeding and nesting season for our location and latitude. She had a clutch of 12 eggs that she was sitting on. So she was probably incubating them. We don't know exactly how long, but what seemed to and appeared to be a pretty full clutch. 12 eggs is about the top end for number of eggs that they will produce. So she was sitting on them. She was found, whether it was by scent, by moving. There was a food plot right here adjacent. She could have been going out feeding, then coming back in and been spotted by a predator. It's really tough to say. Who knows? We looked for bite marks to see the spacing, what may have killed her. Couldn't find anything, but haven't truly gone and done a necropsy and really dissected this thing. But we know, obviously, here's a struggle, and here it is right here behind me. There are tons and tons of breast feathers, back feathers, wing feathers. This struggle took place right here, and the nest sat just right up there. We'll go up there in a second. So it takes 28 days, once a full clutch has been laid, for her to nest and keep those eggs warm, incubate them, let them develop before they hatch. So this hen is sitting here still and idle, minus getting up and feeding, for 28 days straight. So she has to pick an area that has great cover. And this area, as you can kind of tell back behind me, kind of all around me, this area was pretty dense. It was a pretty good hiding spot, if you will, nesting location. We've got a lot of ground cover, about 8 to 12 inches. We've got thick overhead cover. There's a maple right there, young maple sprouts. She actually had her nest right over some blackberries that had fallen over from last year's growth. So it was a good nest location, but she was just predated upon. She was found and taken advantage of, unfortunately. So this is the harsh reality of nature. We see struggles, we see predators. They're part of the environment too. We definitely want to see great numbers and successful hatches and rearing of game species, but predators, this is their job. This is what they do. This plays an important role in all of nature. As much as we want to see more successful turkey nests and hatches, the reason that they lay 12 eggs on average, 10 to 12 eggs, is because we know that they're not all going to survive. Again, it's unfortunate that the hen perished in the process, so the existing population decreased, as well as from the future generation. But again, we can't be mad at predators. And this is a farm that has got ample cover all around it. In every portion, northeast, southeast, whatever, wherever you go, there's good cover available for nesting success of turkeys. She just was part of the population that didn't make it, and you know, props to the predator who was successful. Again, it kind of stinks, but we have to be honest with ourselves. Even when we do a ton of management, and even when we do the food plots, the burning, I mean, just up the road, just up the slope right there, we did a burn this year. Earlier, I mean, just a couple months ago, there's tons of vegetation, great bugging opportunities for turkeys and poults when they hatch. But we have to be real and realize that no matter how much we do, nature is still going to take place every single year. Predators are still going to be on the landscape. And so this is part of it, but we got to show it and we got to talk about it, because it's not right or it's not real for every single predator to be villainized. They're doing their job. This is part of it. They're sometimes very efficient at it, but a lot of times they're not. They miss a lot of opportunities because predators and prey, they coexist on the same landscape every single day. If they were successful every single day, we probably wouldn't have very many prey. So there's a lot of things that prey have advantage of over predators. But this is, again, the harsh realities of nature. So we wanted to share it with you guys and let you know, hey, if you stumble upon something like this, certainly it's a good time to pause and think about nature, think about the complexities of population dynamics, predators and prey, quality habitat versus poor habitat. Take time, think about it. What are you lacking potentially on your property? How can you improve it? And maybe sometimes you can't. Maybe sometimes you're in the process, but just know and have peace about it that this is natural. This is what's going to occur on a yearly basis. So hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something throughout this video and can take it back, share it with people, and know how to improve your property for the better of turkey populations. And because Lord knows they need them, even though this is super dense and thick, we still got some opportunities to work and improve it. Okay, so right here is where she actually placed her nest at. The landowner and his children really wanted to do their best to try and take some of the eggs that were not cracked and were not damaged. There were 10 good eggs, so there's 12. Obviously 2 of them were cracked in the process and struggle. A couple of them were actually thrown out of the actual nest and displaced throughout the struggle, but 2 of them did crack. They took 10 of them back with them, knowing that just a couple hours ago that hen was living and probably sitting, keeping those eggs warm. They're gonna do their part, or try and put those eggs on an incubator, see what happens, and then eventually release those turkeys back out. But this is where the nest site was. You can see she had overhead cover. We've got blackberry that's laid over. Here is some grapevine that again is producing some, or she's utilizing that, some overhead cover, some protection from above, and it's all laid over some maple sprouts. There's a sprout over there, and some of the branches are supporting this blackberry and grapevine. But here are the eggs right here where you can see, and she had some breast feathers and back feathers right here where she probably got, let's say, pounced upon, maybe from a predator coming in from this way into the nest location. A lot of speculation here from that, let's say, approach, but without a doubt, this is the site where it definitely took place. And so from here you can see, here's the nest. That's where the struggle took place, in that little bit more of an opening location, and then the hen lays just 5 yards over in that direction. So probably pretty quick, probably efficient kill despite the struggle and feathers. Some of those feathers I think were taken off after, as that hen was starting to be consumed. There's quite a pile right over there next to her, so crazy find, crazy reality here in nature. But a good reminder though too that this is nature. As much as we want to talk about the good, as much as we want to talk about increasing the success of turkeys and their reproduction potentials on given properties that we're helping to manage, the landowners putting a lot of time and resources into it, no matter what you do, predators are a part of the landscape. As in, you can't out-trap predators, however, they play a role and they're going to still be successful in taking game, whether they are sitting on a nest idle for 28 days, incubating eggs, or just out and about doing their thing. So this is a great find and a great way, a time to kind of pause and reflect on quality of habitat, predator-to-prey populations, which are extremely complex. Don't just look at this and say, oh, well, all predators are bad. That's not what we're trying to portray here at all. But this is life as we know it. It will always be life. It's always part of managing land and managing game populations. Not all fawns survive. Not all duck nests are successful. So this is just part of it. But we can learn from it, share it, educate people on the reality of nature, and go on with our lives, because we know that hen was not only part of the existing population, but there are a lot of other hens that are out here laying at the same time right now, and we just keep our fingers crossed for their success, and hoping that they will produce great successful hatches, because we do have great brood cover, we've got great bugging areas, we've got great food plots, we've got great nesting cover all throughout this property, and so this is just part of it. But appreciate you guys watching, and encourage you guys to watch and subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Facebook and the podcast as well. We release every Tuesday. If you want to learn more about managing land, managing turkey populations, deer populations, managing the habitat, manipulating the habitat, we talk all about those things right there on the Land and Legacy podcast. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Check it out.